This is the 4th round of the Sunday Casual 38. So I believe there's 7 rounds total. I'm not entirely sure. But really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great series. Kinkade and I, as I mentioned on the Facebook post, we actually met in the grand finals of Sunday Casual 32, I think is what I said in the post. I don't remember exactly. I think it was 32. We met in the grand finals, and he won 2-1. So this is kind of a chance for redemption, but Kinkade is a monster. I will actually show you. I think I don't know his exact level, but starting off here, he's going to take Missilebot Imperial Fighter, so he's going very fast. He's going to be a rush deck. He sees that Imperial Frigate there as well hanging out, and that's going to be a really good option for him to take. As a result, I actually am going to take the Imperial Frigate just to stop the potential of him just getting a little bit too fast. Kinkade is 53, so I'm only level 32, I think. So we are going to take the Imperial Frigate, for those who don't know as well. That's really unfortunate. When scrap card came out, it's going to be a bit of a bummer for me. For those who don't know, Imperial Frigate is the best card in the game. It is my favorite card in the game. Hence why the avatar for my page is the front of the Imperial Frigate ship. This is sure to be a good series. I'm looking forward to it. So far, this row has a lot of dead cards. And by dead cards, I don't mean cards that can't do anything, but cards that don't actually engage in the process of removing your opponent's authority. A lot of bases. As I say that, we get another base flip. He's still going fast. He actually picked up another scrap and another Imperial Fighter, so he's going to be coming at me with the fleet. And now I have a really tough decision to make. With the 1 cards that were out there, that Ram Pilot, that was going to give me an even buy on my economy. I have 5 now, so unfortunately I don't have that 1 buy. I'm going to have to choose one of these cards to take. And of the cards to choose, I really want to take the Recycling Station because I'm trying to deny him that ability. But at the same time, the Patrol Mech seems like a better purchase for me in general, and I may have to just give up the Recycling Station and hope that he's just not going to have enough damage later in the game. We unfortunately miss out on the 1 trade there. Coming up on our next hand, though, we are going to have 7. It's going to give us an opportunity to pick up that Battle Mech. If he doesn't take the Recycling Station, I may actually skip the Battle Mech since he does not have the ability or the likelihood of getting up to purchasing higher cards, since he doesn't really have the trade. That's a pretty good card for us, actually. What that's going to do is that's going to give me 5 for the Battle Mech and then a double discard here, or a double. I'm going to actually faction it off with my Patrol Mech. So we'll go 3 out here. I'm going to go ahead and scrap out 1 there, and then we're going to use the Patrol Mech's ability to scrap out 1 in the discard. Actually, it was really, really good buy for us. We'll pop up the 4 and I'm taking the space station here. That helps a lot, that I was able to get 2 scraps there. Him having the Recycling Station is going to be a bit of a problem for me, but he doesn't have any big damage cards, and he's kind of solidified himself out of the ability to take big damage cards, so he's not going to be able to do that the entire game. Unless he suddenly decides right now to take some Explorers into his deck, or take this Blob Wheel here to pop up, get that ladder, scrap it out for the 3 trade. Just gonna tweak that down just a little bit. There we go. So, who knows? It'll be interesting to see one way or another what ends up happening. Interesting. So he takes the Survey Ship. It makes sense. Survey Ship is going to be a card that doesn't actually expand his deck at all. It's just going to help him faction off his fighters, plus his cycling on the Recycling Station. He's going to use the bike to cycle as quickly as possible. However, that still doesn't give him the surefire ability to get these cards, these higher cards, if you will. So far, we're going to be in a race, and I think I have the opportunity to win the race if I get these big cards and get them out in time. I don't have any guaranteed scrap, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. He's going to cycle his deck a lot faster than me, and he actually is going to cut down to have a better deck. In the end of this game, he will have a better deck, 100%. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but my ability to get large cards may be what comes in clutch. I could take this Battle Blob. What I'm concerned about, though, is with the green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he has the potential for 6. With low damage, this is a tough decision right here. This is a decision that will be for the game or not. To talk out loud, I got Mech World, Battle Blob, and Battle Mech here. Battle Mech would be a good option because it gives me a scrap card chance to hit the Patrol Mech so that I can actually faction that thing off. The issue at the same time is that taking the Mech World makes a little bit of sense because that's going to faction off Patrol Mech. He doesn't have the amount of damage required to actually chip away at this. It might protect me for a long time. But then there's also the idea of taking this Battle Blob. Taking the Battle Blob is going to give me the ability... it's going to give me the ability to do 8 damage, you know, to come through and do 8 damage, plus doesn't give him the option to take and get that ramp high to get that free draw. So since we're in the back of our hand here, if we do get the space station at all, I'm going to definitely flip that, and I'll flip that for the Mech World or the Battle Mech, so he can't take all these cards, right? So if we're making a decision here, we're going to go ahead and take the Battle Blob because we have the ability to take it right now. And then we're going to try to take the Battle Mech or the Mech World, depending on what he takes. He may take this Cutter because he's going to be cycling pretty fast. If I were him, I would definitely take the Battle Mech or the Mech World instead because that goes with his deck archetype. Cutter's going to be a slow card to take there. Trading Post is certainly going to be okay for faction that off, but it's also going to die pretty quick with the quick damage deck that I built here. The only issue is I don't have any deck cycle, right? Like, that's my issue. That's why I need Mech World or I need Battle Mech. Now, as we can see on my draw, I actually completely missed Space Station. Whiffed it completely. So with 4, we're probably going to end up taking the Blob Wheel or the Cutter if he leaves that, or something better from what he did buy. But it's going to be really difficult for me to actually come back from this. This is a pretty tight spot. He's going to have a faster deck, better deck. Not doing a ton of damage, but cycling faster than me. So I need something to get out there to kind of stop the bleeding that's going to be happening, and I just don't know what's going to stop the bleeding. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. So, just so you guys know as well, there's a 3-minute delay on this stream. 3-minute delay just to prevent myself from engaging in any shenanigans, prevent anything else from happening. You know, like, I'm not going to be reading chat. Like, I have the chat disabled for my viewing, so I can't see the chat. Trying to keep it kosher, if you will. So if I don't respond to you or don't do anything, just, you know, don't freak out. This is a tournament match. I want to treat it professionally, and then afterwards I'll certainly open up the chat and go through anything that anybody was saying. Give you all some shout outs. And if you enjoy what you're seeing, go ahead and hit the follow button. Game may have bugged. I'm gonna go ahead and hop out here. Nope, he's just thinking. He's processing, which is good. I assume he's thinking about what I just said. Like, that Cutter's good. Does he want to give me the ability to take the Cutter to live longer? I mean, basically my Cutter is going to do 2 unfactioned fighters. Okay, so he went. We got the survey on the draw, scrap, cycles. Yeah, that was good for him. Now, we got really fortunate here. So he took the embassy yacht. He doesn't have the second base yet, but he sees there's a lot of bases available. What we got lucky with is I get to take this Cutter here, and I get to actually take... Oh, wow. Yo, it's Christmas, guys. War Elder and Special Ops Director both showing up to give me a full buy on 4. Not only that, but now I actually get the I get to get my Patrol Mech on a double scrap. I'm not going to scrap out right now. I could scrap out this Viper, but it's not going to do anything. I mean, it'll cycle my deck a little faster, but I could get 2 scraps later versus 1 scrap now. And I think I can wait. I think I'm going to last long enough to get 2 scraps later because he just doesn't have enough damage. So we're just going to throw that away. That's a really good draw for us. Really good draw. Space Station Imperial Frigate's gonna connect. It's gonna give us 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total, plus the 2 out. I will scrap the Space Station for this Imperial Frigate. If he doesn't end up taking it, chances are he will. If he does that, then I will probably leave the Space Station there. So that's what's going on there. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, kind of nerve-wracking. He gets a second shot at the recycling station because I couldn't take it out. There was nothing I could do about that, so it's just kind of unfortunate the way that draw worked out. He is going to certainly get a lead from that. Making me discard cards consistently is going to be really frustrating. He's going to get to the point where he's going to have triple discard. He's going to be able to sack that survey ship out, get that discard there when it combines with the 2 Imperial fighters, but he really doesn't have the damage, right? He really doesn't have the damage required. These draws are going to be pretty frustrating for him, of course. That's going to be a kind of a bummer. Cycling 1 out here. You know, I want the damage. You got 4 and 4, so we'll cycle that out pretty quick. He's already actually cycling his full deck, so he's already drawn completely out. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So he's got this 2 here, and I kind of think I might want to make him use it. I think I might want to make him use that. So I'm thinking about just keeping the space station there as a buffer. We're gonna say for the 2. I just really don't like leaving him that Imperial frigate. I mean, we have 4. We have 8 healing coming in, so we essentially have 36 instead of 28. Battle Blob's going to give us kind of a huge push for an ending shot. Taking that second frigate just seems really necessary for what I'm trying to do, and then I can actually cycle that out later. But preventing him from getting that seems pretty important. Picking up the battle mech was really good for him. It's going to give him draw. That's what's really important for him right now. He needs damage plus draw. He needs to be connecting those. Yeah, it's just, this is kind of an unfortunate situation for me. Because at the end of the day, like, I can get rid of both of those. It doesn't leave him too much, but he'll probably have enough to pick up that Imperial fighter, or frigate, sorry. So am I okay with that? That's the question. Am I okay with that? We're certainly killing both of those. He's going to have to cycle without... Am I okay with him taking that frigate? It might just be too much. So I have made the decision to take that frigate. And nothing else. This is perfect. We're going to pop both our heroes off, get the patrol mech on two scraps on both scouts. We're going to kind of hit him back with the discards, and the thing about the Imperial Frigate that's so good is actually doesn't take up any space in your deck. So even though it's a spot in your deck, if you're trying to make a big push at the end of the game, you can go ahead and get the damage, get the faction, make your opponent discard a card guaranteed, and then you can draw a card by getting it out of your deck. Makes your deck move faster towards other cards. At the same time, you were able to get a placeholder for 4 damage and a discard, which is pretty good as far as value is concerned. Having 2 in the deck is pretty good. I have the Battle Blob as well. So what this is going to probably end up doing towards the end of this game is I'm going to have to chuck the Battle Blob and 2 Imperial Frigates. I'm going to have to go down to bare bones in my deck. Like, I have no other reason to have this cutter in my deck besides the fact that that Special Ops Director came up. I don't know if I would have taken it if I didn't see the Special Ops Director. That being the case, I mean, that is what it is, I guess. Discarding money picks up the Ram. It's not a bad buy. We're going to have... I'm going damage now because it's getting too late. Chances are I'll have 2... I'll pick up the Ram Pilot, sure. That Ram Pilot's actually going to be really clutch for me. Really, really good. We're going to get rid of a... Because I'm going to be able to get the Battle Blob here. I'm getting really, really fortunate so far with... with heroes. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. We just got another Special Ops Director? Next time Cutter comes up, we have it factioned off again. If I was him, I'd be pretty upset. That is really fortunate, team. Really, really fortunate. He's not gonna be able to get the kill, he'll get the draw, he's got this whole shenanigans going on. He'll be able to scrap out both of these scouts, and then his deck's going to be really, really potent. But we have fighting power. We have staying power. We aren't out of this just yet. We're going to be able to hopefully punch back and punch back pretty hard. The question is, are we going to slide in time? That's the question, you know. The question is, are we going to slide in time? Just a reminder, best of 3 this is... Vanilla Heroes. This is the round 4 of the Sunday Casual 38. And Kinkade is a very difficult opponent. Wow. Next hand's gonna be pretty good, but I would have preferred something else. So team, we have a decision to make at this point. He doesn't have any base removal, and I'm thinking taking the Blob Wheel is going to be a good choice. Blob Wheel is going to sit there and force him to make a decision about it. He can choose to ignore that, though, and just go damage if you really want to. I can't sack the Battle Blob now because I'm going to need it on the next turn. Actually, team, do we want to go for this? We could play luck. We could play luck. If we can get to the point where he doesn't have any of these large butt outposts out here, he's got 4, 6, and 4. What has he got? 4, 6, and 4, and that's it. Thought he had one more. No, recycling, trading, and they picked up the map world. Yeah, 4, 6, 4. So 4, 6, 4 for 14. Right now, I could, like, if we look at my next hand, right? I got 4 here with the special ops director, and I've got 4 and 4. And 2 and 2. So 6 and 6 for 12, 4 for 16, 17. I got 18. I got 18 coming up, which is enough to kill, right? Guys, I think we go for this. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think we go for this. Are you guys ready? We're going to go for it. 11, okay? We're going to have 18 next turn. If we can survive the discards, if we can not have him put a bunch of bases up, we have the win. But I'm going all in right here. There's no turning back. There's no turning back after that. And he's gonna know it too. As soon as he saw me do that, he's gonna know. He's gonna know exactly what I'm trying to do. And if he can survive it, he wins the game because I'm getting rid of everything. I'm basically just taking it all out. It's right here. It's now or never. I'm putting it all on this because look at the rest of my hand. Like if he gets a base out, like Patrol Mech's 5 damage. 5 damage isn't going to get through a mech world. This is gutsy, everybody. Like to the point that I'm almost thinking, man, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? You probably could have survived one more. I don't know if he's taking a while because he's cycling a bunch of cards, which would be frustrating for me. It's always nerve-wracking when somebody's taking a long time on their turn. Makes you think that they're thinking a lot about it. If he didn't have a play, he would have already done it. So he does have a play, and he's making his play. If he makes me discard more than 2 cards, I'm in a lot of trouble. If he gets 2 or more bases out plus his embassy out, I'm in a lot of trouble. If he gets his mech world out in general, I'm probably in a lot of trouble. Okay, we're going really all in here. Guys, we're playing some RNG. I could have held on to that one more go. All right, team. So the way this is going to work is we have 5 opportunities on 2 draws to get the patrol mech, everybody. If we get the patrol mech, we win the game. If we get the patrol mech, we win the game. If we don't get the patrol mech, we probably lose the game. Are you guys ready for this? This is it. This whole game is going to be decided by RNG. Alright, first draw coming up. First Imperial Frigate. Sacked for game number 1 of this series. Nope, no go. We got 4 opportunities, everybody. We have a 25% chance. We're rolling on 25% here on a draw. 25%. Yes! Yes! Oh. Oh, wow. Team. Oh my god, team. Oh. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe we just got that. Oh, I have such bad luck in this game, and I just got such good luck. Well, I'm gonna challenge him to the rematch. I'm sure he's probably might be a little salty after that. That's really unfortunate. He just lost because of luck. I mean, certainly I put myself in the situation where I was going to be able to draw those cards, but I cannot believe I got so many heroes. That is insane. Oh, I get 2 special op directors. I get a ram pilot to hit my draw. I get whatever the red one is. And then I pick up that red guy, the bigger red guy, at the very end there to scrap out one of my cards to increase my odds by, what would that be, 12%? 12, 6, 60, no, that's more like 15%. Yeah, like 15-ish%. I cannot believe it. All right, well, game number 2, everybody. Game 1. Game 1 goes down. Let's see what happens in game number 2. Starts off with Battle Pod. Battle Pod's a great buy, underrated buy for a lot of people. Being able to scrap a card in the trade row that you see your opponent really wants is really good. Plus 4 damage for 2 cost. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, or fortunately for him, I have a lot of buying power here. So here I'm saying, okay, well, you went green, so I'm going to take away some of the value of your ally abilities, and then I'm going to increase my my potential to purchase something nice and pretty. I know I'm going to have 3 next time, so I'm going to take that embassy yacht. It's still 2 plus the 3 health. So far, you know, he's going to have guaranteed 4, probably take the recycling station, but if he takes recycling station, I've already taken the damage that's going to counter the recycling station that's out there, so I'm not too worried about that. I've already covered that base. So, you know, we just got to see. That's it. Man, I still can't believe that game number 1. That is absolutely insane. Jeez. This will be an interesting game. I'm interested to see which direction he goes, that's for sure. Now, we get a ram here. So he did end up taking the recycling station and the Imperial Fighter with the 5. So Ram's a really good buy for us here. Really, really, really good buy. Ram's a very, very good 3-cost card. So we do take the Ram there. We're building this this green deck. It's going to be pretty attack intensive. Going to be a lot of draw in theory if I'm able to continue getting the draw. He took a card that I can go ahead and defeat. He doesn't have any scrap or cycle, or I mean he doesn't have any scrap. Sorry. It's just habitual to say cycle. He does have cycle. He has the bike. So he can ride his bike. It'll be interesting to see how this game progresses past that, though. With 2, we take the Explorer. We don't take the Fighter. I'm okay with him having the Fighter at this point. 6 is going to be good for us. We're going to be able to take a base and kind of stem the bleeding. It'll be interesting to see what he takes. The Imperial Fighter could be a pickup for him since he already took one of those. The recycling station is going to give him the faction for that, but once again, like, we're both just kind of sitting here without scrap at this point. Junkyard being the only scrap card out there. It's kind of annoying to take the Junkyard for 6 because 6 is a lot. You know, but we're going to have to see. I don't know. Kinkade's a great player, and it'll be interesting to kind of see how he puts this together. Could take the embassy out and go for the battle station again. He tried to do that last time on the cycle, and it just didn't quite end up working out there, so there's a lot of different ways he could play this. Right now his economy is low again. You know, he's got this Explorer sitting here, but he's taken cards that don't do a lot of damage. He doesn't really have the bite yet. I have the bite. I have Ram, Battle Pod. Cycles out 2 scouts, takes the... Okay. Oh, and a cutter pops up. That's really unfortunate for him. We're going to take the cutter, and actually we're going to take this Ram as well. And that Blob Fighter. Oh, wow. Jeez, cards coming up green. I took the Ram over the Barter World because Barter World, even though I want to hit the cutter's there for sustainability. It's not there for me to try to be faction out that damage. You spend too much time trying to get an ally ability, you're just going to end up losing a lot of games. That's not something I enjoy doing. I took the Ram because 5 damage for a 3 that I can eventually scrap out for something bigger like the Brain World. That's what I'm looking for. The brain world obviously just landed. It's not like I knew that was going to be there. But now that it is there, I'm really well set up. I'm not going to scrap out this Explorer for the same reason. I kind of want to hit that brain world. If I can get the other Ram here, that'd be really nice. But we're going to have to see. Didn't get the Ram, did get the draw. We're going to hit a lot of damage here. And actually, since he did just cycle his deck recycling station, he'll get one draw cycle, but the recycling station is going to go right back in. Which is going to be bad for him, but good for us. It's going to mean that his recycling station, or the bike as I like to call it, is going to sit there for a long time. This draw is going to be really clutch if we don't get the draw, so we're going to play Ram first and the Blob Fire to get our draw. If we don't have enough for the Brain World, I'm going to scrap it out because I don't want my opponent to have the lucky opportunity to get it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I kid you, kidding, he can't get it. As it stands, he cannot get the Brain World, so I'm going to leave it out there. I'm the only one who has the potential to get it. He scrapped it out anyway because he got the Battle Pod first turn. First turn, people. First turn. You got to remember. It's worth it. We wouldn't have quite gotten it. Now, none of these are terribly good. I'm going to get rid of the only card that he's really trying to faction. Pulls up a space station. You know, if I get enough damage here, neither of us has scrap, right? Yeah, there's no scrap. He's going to try to go bases. No real damage either. I'm gonna take a risk and take Junkyard out. We can safely get rid of our Explorer now. Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that. I'm gonna have the only scrap ability that's hit the board in the entire game so far. The bike's gonna help him cycle a little bit faster, but what is it cycling? That's what you have to keep in mind, right? Like, what is he going to be cycling? What cards does he have? If I'm looking at his cards, I see the Battle Pod, Embassy Yacht. I see, like, what? Like, at the end of the day, his damage is going to... And we have 6 here, huh? I'm going to discard the Viper in case a 2 comes up. I don't want to take any more Explorers. Never mind. What 2 would come up? Yeah, on the instance a 2 comes up, I don't want to buy anything else. I don't want to be purchasing things for 2 unless it's another cutter. I'm going to discard this Viper just in the instance that a cutter comes up. That's it. Or a missile bot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to take that space station. You know, I could take the battle station instead. No, because I want him to take the battle station. No, I don't want him to have 2 space stations. Yeah, I'm taking... Okay, we're getting rid of the Viper. Well, that came up. Now, I could take that in the instance that... No. I want him to buy that. I want him to buy that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. I want him to take it. I want him to take that Imperial Fighter. Because it's 2 damage and a discard, and unless you can get those things stacking up, he's only got 6 cards he's bought in his hand. 1 of them cycles bases, 3 of them are bases, and 1 of those bases cycles cards. So he's got cycle, but what's his damage output right now? An Imperial Fighter, a Battle Pod, and a space station, right? That's it. And then he can get rid of 1 of his cards for 5 damage. In the meantime, I'm sitting here with all this stuff. I have 2 cards that hit draw. I have a Ram for 5 damage. I have a Battle Pod, which he has. I have a Cutter for 4 sustainability. I got Junkyard, which is the only scrap that's going to be in the game, which means that eventually, if this game goes on long enough, I'm going to end up moving my deck even faster, even though he has the bike. So I feel like right now I'm in a really good spot, just the way that everything went at the beginning of that game. I'm getting a little fortunate in some of my buys. This is an example of things not quite going well. This is an example of him punching me back a little bit. We will get rid of the recycling station, so that's good. We're going to make him slow down there. Unfortunately, it does leave us a little dead here in the water. We'll take the survey ship to faction off on the space station. He's going to have another good turn because 2 bases came out and he got his Embassy Yacht out. That was really, really good for him, the fact that he connected Embassy Yacht. Really good. Once again, this is Heroes Format Best of 3. There's a 3-minute delay on the stream for those who don't know, just to prevent any kind of shenanigans from my perspective, not from Kinkade's, because I'm the one who has the I'm the one who has like the running the Twitch and the chat and everything, and just to kind of prevent, I want to, you know, obviously keep it professional as a tournament match, show respect to the game. Kinkade is a great player. For those who didn't hear at the beginning of the stream or didn't read the Facebook post, we did meet in grand finals of the Sunday Casual 32, in which he bested me 2-1. And what I remember was a pretty convincing victory for me. I think I won a game. You know, you win a game here and there with whatever, this happens, that happens, yada yada. But he legitimately, like, I think the 2 games that he won, this is, and this may just be hyperbole, but I think he trounced me pretty good. 5 damage. Gets rid of 1 base. We want to keep it tight. So if I was to get rid of this, what am I going to take? I'm going to take something slow, right? I'd rather keep that damage in my deck. We're going to end the turn. I also want to keep this out there. Look at this. What's he going to do with this? Take all these slow cards? Like, his deck is already slow unless he keeps connecting stuff, which he's doing a really good job of so far. You know? So the idea here, you know, I'm just looking at this and it's like, okay, so I took Junkyard because this 5 damage and the only scrap, right? Because look at his cards. Like, to get 5 damage, he has to get a Battle Pod plus something. He has to sack out a Battle Station. He has to sack out his Barter World. He has to get rid of something. He has to faction off his Space Station. I'm playing the odds. Unfortunately, the odds are not coming up in my favor. At this point, it really feels like we're going to be going to another game. Wow! I get a Cunning Captain off the Imperial Fighter buy, which I picked up because I just need something to get going. All his bases are coming up, and I'm going to get behind if he keeps putting bases up like this. I'm going to get really behind. He's going bases. That's his goal. So I take that. Cunning Captain pops up. And what pops up after Cunning Captain? But a green card. Now the question is, do we hit the Cunning Captain now? Now, if we look at our Space Station, right? Space Station, we need that 2 damage on that extra there because we want to take out this Trading Post. Why do we want to take out the Trading Post? Because of this card right here, Embassy Yacht coming up. We want to give him as little of an ability as possible to get that thing going. So we are going to put that up. That's huge. It's so big that we were able to do that. And we end our turn. This is going to be a pretty good hand. We're going to have a lot of damage output. No matter what bases actually pop up here, we're going to be able to take him out. So Recycling Station might come out. He's going to be able to cycle a couple cards, but then I'm going to send it right back into his discard pile. The only thing I'm going to be really worried about is if he has a really bad hand this turn, because his next turn is going to be a good hand, and I don't have guaranteed. 60% of my next hand is going to be dead. It's not going to be something that can do anything. So it'd be really good. It'd be really good for me to have him have a good hand right now. I need him to have his good hand here, so that I can deal with it with the cards that I have. But this is a little bit of the kind of the back and forth. I have the cards that can deal with the cards he has in his deck, but they have to come out at the right time. He's got a lot of bases. I got a lot of damage. He's getting a lot of sustainability as well with these bases. It's saving him a lot of damage he would otherwise be taking. He's ahead by 9 authority right now. But he doesn't have the kill move. He has a lot of bases he can get rid of. You can get rid of Trading Post for 3, Battle Station for 5. You can get rid of this Barter World for 5. You can get rid of whatever else. I think I already said the Battle Station for 5. Oh, he took 2. That's right, he took 2. Battle Station for 5. He's going to start scrapping out all his bases. As he scraps out his bases, he's scrapping out his lifeline. So he's doing what I did last time. He's taking a bunch of cards and he's hoping to kill me in a blow. He's going to go on 1 deck cycle after this cycle. That's what I'm calling. After this deck cycle, he's going to get through these cards and he's going to start scrapping his bases out one by one. The fact that it's taking him this long is either because he's thinking. He has nothing on this trade row he wants. Nothing. All these cards are just garbage. You don't want these late in the game. These are all slow cards. Every card out there is slow, besides the Fleet HQ. But even that's going to cost so much, I don't know if he has the ability to take that. He cycles 2. Ooh. He did. He had to scrap it out. Okay. Like I said, bike comes out, right? So the bike comes out. And it's really unfortunate for him. We don't scrap anything. I want to. This is called a trade row control. The reason that's unfortunate for him is because I'm going to kill it, and now he doesn't get to use it for a whole deck cycle. And now he has no way to speed up his deck besides this Embassy Yacht hitting one of these 4 bases. Two of which, base-wise, don't actually do anything. This game is tight. Really, really close. Keeping the survey ship for the chance of factioning off 2 damage from either the Imperial Fighter or the Space Station. Whew. It's worth noting that he's had to sacrifice a couple cards to get rid of my bases. That is the Junkyard and the Space Station. Junkyard is a buy that I really don't like doing, if I'm being totally honest. It just felt like for 6, without what else was out there, just felt like the best buy at the time. If anything, that would be the buy that I would contest the most that I've made so far in this game. It would be the Junkyard purchase. Maybe I could have bought something else like 3 Explorers. Hit something big. Scrapped them all out. But the Junkyard is also 5 health. It's also sustainability, right? It's sustainability. I still have all the damage in my deck. I like this. I like this green setup I've had from the very beginning. I just need the Wildfires to actually finish it off. We prevent the draw. That's so huge. We prevent the draw. He's going to have a lot of bases coming out, but he's not going to be able to use them with the Embassy Yacht to cycle. I already put the bike back down. His cycle is gone. This draw right here from this survey ship needs to be damage. It's damage. That is so huge. We aren't going to scrap a card because I want him to take something. I want him to take one of those. That was really, really big. That was big that we drew that battle pod. We needed that so bad. Otherwise, he potentially gets a base wall started. And that might be the survivability that helps him stay in this game. Do I keep the survey ship right here? Survey ship might be better to make him discard a card just to be annoying, but discarding a card probably isn't going to do anything at this point because he's not going to buy any of this. He doesn't want any of that. What, I make him discard a scout he wasn't going to use anyway, right? I might as well just leave that in my deck for the chance of factioning that off if we go a full another deck cycle. If we look at my damage, I got 2 Blob Fighters for 6. The Ram's going to be 7 on top of that for 13. Cutter's not going to faction, so we have the 13 plus the Imperial Fighter for 2 for 15 and 2 for 17, 18, 19. If we faction off our yellow, we're going to have 4 extra for 23. He has 26. So even if everything goes well, I get all my damage out, he's going to be surviving longer than me here. So this is going to be going to be surprisingly close. If I can keep killing his bases so that he can't destroy them, he doesn't have damage and he can't buy damage. His trade row control is insane. We have 2 trade pods and 2 supply bots out there. There's no damage out there. There's no damage. He could take Explorers to scrap out for 2 damage, but if I can survive with this 22, worth noting, 22 is only 3 under half health. It's not as bad as it looks, right? It looks really, really bad, but it's actually not that bad. We're essentially even, and I have eons more attack. And as a result, this Junkyard and the Space Station may come in pretty clutch. That's 9 health, essentially, added, plus the 4 health I'm going to be cycling for Authority, guaranteed from the Cutter. So 4 health up this time is going to take me up to 26, which is a tie game, and I have more damage out, plus the draw from my Blob Fighters on my Rams. It's a tough road for him. Like, it really is a tough. So he scraps out. Interesting. He takes Corvette Trade Pod. He takes the Trade Pod. And the Corvette. Trade Pod's weird. Gets the Corvette out of it. There's this really large part of me that's tempted to take the defense center. But I'm leaving the defense center because I want him to sack his space station to take it. He can't take it with 1, 2, 3, 4. He has to get rid of his space station to take it. I want that out there. If he sacks his space station, he's gotten rid of 4 health. That's 4 health on his lifeline. Because I'm ahead in this game. I want to keep my Ram. Look, and that didn't help him. We eventually, I mean, what, he got a Corvette and a trade pod? Trade pod's slow. That's not doing anything for him. I don't know why he took the trade pod. That's kind of a weird buy, in my opinion. I'd love to talk to him to see about that. I'd love to see why he took the trade pod there. Trade pod's kind of slow to be taken this late. Maybe he's trying to faction out the battle pod, trying to cycle, trying to get up to take a better card. I don't entirely know. But his next deck is just bases. I got damage. My bases are going to go out against his bases. It's a close match at the end of the day, but yeah, this is rough for him. I'm going to get the faction off here. This is what I'm talking about. Junkyard's coming out. He's got 9 damage that he now has to deal with. And I have enough to take out both of these. This is really rough for him. Oh, and we got a really good draw. So he needs, I mean, look at his damage. This is why I'm glad I took the Junkyard early on, and this was my intent about taking the Junkyard, and it worked out. Maybe sometimes that doesn't work out and the Junkyard ends up being a dead card in the deck. But if you look here, like, what's his damage? Battle Pod was the first card he took, and that's his biggest damage card in the entire deck, besides sacking a battle station. You know, like, it's been really unfortunate. He hasn't been able to come up with anything, so bases was kind of, I think, his backup strategy, where he falls onto something that says, I need to live longer so I can make this worth it. But now he's got 9 to get through, with his highest card damage being 4 with the possibility of 6. That's why Ram is so good, because Ram hits for 5 guaranteed, and 5 is what a majority of bases are at or under. He got through both. Wow, and he got 2 discards. That's pretty good. Unfortunately for him. Wow, and I get the draw. And I get another draw. Not quite gonna matter. We are gonna sack out the survey ship now, just to be annoying. Make him sack a card. If we can connect on our damage here, he's still got 2 bases. This game isn't over. It's not over. He's got 2 bases and an embassy yacht plus the Corvette draw. So he has a chance for a draw. He's got 1 card. Let's see, so it's 11 cards. So he's got 11 card size deck, because the Corvette is a placeholder. It's a placeholder card with 1 with the chance to faction off for 2 on the recycling station. Embassy Yacht hitting battle station, recycling station would be pretty good, and that needs to be what he hopes for, because he's got to cycle this deck to get back to these cards. His deck's looking pretty small, otherwise we're actually going to take the game. I do only have 6 attack here, so if he does get these 2 bases out, I'm going to have to take the recycling station out. And that's going to leave a battle station he can sack for 5 damage, which is pretty annoying. That's one of his best attacking cards right now. To remind everybody, I don't have the chat up, so I can't actually read chat. Just to save the sanctity of the game, if you will. Let's see what he got. He got the battle station. He got the healing. He got High Priest Lyle. Scrapped out a Viper. This game's not over. Three on the wheel, huh? This game's not over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll leave all that out. That's totally fine. The question is, what do we got coming up? What do we got coming up? What's going to connect? It's another scrubbishness. Oh, I'm still feeling pretty good. Remember, I was at 22, 4 turns ago, and I'm at 20. He's taken off 2. The fact that he got both my bases out on his connections was really good for him. He just picked up a scrap, which is really good for him. He has a lot of draw, which is really good for him. This hand's going to be kind of dead. He's going to cycle out 2. I'm going to be able to kill the recycling station and send it back into the graveyard, which still, at the end of the day, doesn't leave him with any damage unless he gets these battle stations out. These battle stations, I assume he's going to end up scrapping for 10 damage. That takes me down to 10. Like, this is still anybody's game right now, right? That was kind of an unfortunate hand for him, it seems. I have to take the station. Don't have a choice there. I don't want to take any of that. I want to leave that for him. 24-7. He's on by a thread, and I just can't take any of these cards. I'm going to have damage coming up. He's got a lot of bases. He's surviving on bases. Embassy Out might be able to come through pretty clutch here. I'm going to have the draw. That draw is going to need to hit one of these cards. It'd be great to hit one of these cards. If I can, then I think the game's going to be over with the faction. Right now, I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll have 10, which isn't enough for the kill, but once again, I have the draw. Now, if he gets another base out, I'm in trouble again. He is surviving on these bases. It's actually pretty impressive. This is this is getting really scrappy. And essentially, I've had this slow, like, I keep getting my junkyard, scrap out one card, go back through. Scrap out one card, go back through. I'm slowly making my deck more efficient. Unfortunately, I need to make it more efficient a little bit faster. Probably would have been a good idea to leave my survey ship in the deck. I'm looking back on it. I just felt like I could go for the kill there, and I just didn't quite have the hand that was necessary to get that kill. Looking back on the deck, I really don't think I've made mistakes. Junkyard may have been a weird buy, but for the trade row, I'll need to go back in time to see what the trade row is. 11 damage and 10,000 bases out, huh? Alright, team. This is it. This is why this guy is such a good player. I would love to take that cutter. The cutter connection would be a 16 authority swing. But I also have to scrap out a card, and I can't let him get it. We need damage. Okay. It's kind of damage. I could take out 2 of them, everybody. I could take out 2. Question is which 2? Battle Station for sure. And Trading Post, I think. No, because that's 2 guaranteed damage versus making him get rid of the Trading Post for 3. Plus he's going to have the Battle Station out that he's going to be able to use. Okay, well, Space Station stays out. If we're looking at the cards that he has coming up, he's not going to faction any of this, right? If we look at the back of his deck, he's looking to hit blue and yellow, which are these 2. If he hits blue, nothing happens. If he hits yellow, he gets 2 extra damage. I don't want him scrapping that out from the mech world right now. Trading Post, he could scrap for 3 damage and get 1 health. The max he can have is 5, 9, 10, 11, which will give him 2 damage plus the double destruction on the junkyard. If he does Trading Post, that's 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he gets 12 damage if I let him sack Trading Post versus leaving him the 2 for the Space Station. I kind of want him to have Trading Post come up again, too, because Trading Post is just such a worthless card. It is giving him that 1 extra authority. 1 authority versus the 2 damage. Can I afford to take the 2 damage right now, or can I afford to give him the 1 authority? If I'm trying to end this game, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have 10 coming up, and I have 12 right now. 10 isn't going to kill it. So we're going to go another deck cycle. If I have him sack the Space Station now, he's sacking out 4 of his lifeline, right? If he sacks either of these. Space Station is the one that gives him something, though. Yeah. Space Station is the one that gives him another card into his deck. That's the point. He's going to upgrade that card to a Mech World. If Mech World comes out, I'm in a lot of trouble. I need to prevent that. Space Station's going down. That 3 damage. Just 1 away. We're going to hit here. That's really good. You know, at the same time, that battle pod could bottom deck. If he bottom decks that battle pod or that battle station, that is so good for me. That is, like, just so good for me. That's hoping, right? That's still just hoping. My junkyard will never stay out. I'm just convinced that's never going to happen. This game is absolutely ridiculous. I'm even thinking about trying to get that Mech World for myself. If we're going to play a survival game, I can play a better survival game. Oh my god. He did bottom deck. I get another scrap. He took the Mech World, though. With the 4 plus the 5 out of the bottom deck. Oh my god. Can't do this. 4 to 13 now. 4 to 13. He was able to get that. He has a battle station in his deck right now, or in his hand right now. We know that, right? He has a battle station in his hand. I can't scrap out my Ram. That's damage. I've got a really nice, like, I have a high probability of drawing my cards. He still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 starters. He scrapped out 2. And there's his Vipers. He scrapped out his damage. He has so many bases. I'm just delaying what I know I have to do. I just have to push end turn. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We get 2 draw. The question is, what did he get with his battle station? The question is, what's behind his battle station? He can sack his battle station for 5. If he gets 2 battle stations or a bike, he could end the game. I only have 18. I have 18 health. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of damage, but he has damage. Oh my god, he got 4 scouts. Oh my god, he got 4 scouts in a battle station. He drew 4 scouts with his battle station. And I have... Oh. That's exact damage! Oh! Oh my god, what a series. You gotta be kidding me. Oh. Wow. That was one of the more intense matches I think I've ever played. I cannot believe those 2 games were just insane. That is absolutely insane. We managed a 2-0 victory.